Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I'm talking about my NFC South predictions for the 2022 NFL season. This is the last video in the series that I do every single year of 8 videos where I go over every division's chances, or every game for every team. If you want to check out any of those other videos, they're on a playlist on the channel. And let's get right into it. First off, we have the Atlanta Falcons at 2-15. I predicted the Falcons to do poorly last year, and now they don't have Matt Ryan or Russell Gage. Matt Ryan has basically been the only player keeping the Falcons afloat for the last 4 years. They've made it to the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 51, and then they got rid of all of their good players. Their defense slowly crumbled, their offense depleted, and Matt Ryan was the only reason why they got 7 wins this season. Matt Ryan is now gone, and their quarterback is Marcus Mariota. Mariota's always had a good record, but that's because of the team he was on. The Titans were always strong when he was there. So this year, I have the Falcons going 2-15. I have them winning against Seattle, who in my last video I exemplified I had going 1-16, and I have them beating Carolina by splitting with them on the year. I think it's very possible Carolina beats the Falcons twice. I think that the Panthers are better than people are expecting them to be. I think that Baker Mayfield has potential to do well if Christian McCaffrey can stay healthy, because they do have DJ Moore, they do have Robbie Anderson. It'll be a good team, but I think that the Falcons could split with them because of the divisional matchup rivalry. Overall, their schedule is extremely tough. I think that they could beat the Browns Week 4. Because Baker Mayfield they could beat the Browns Week 4 because Deshaun Watson's out. But other than that, they have the Saints twice, who I think are going to be one of the better teams in the league. They have Tampa twice. They have the Rams. They have the 49ers. They have the Bengals. They have the Chargers. They have the Steelers. They have the Cardinals. They have the Ravens. That's 11 teams that are fighting for a playoff spot. The Panthers are okay. And then they have Seattle, and then they have a couple of easy wins with Seattle. They could beat the Bears, who I think are arguably worse than them. And then you have Washington. You have the Browns without Deshaun Watson. And I think that it's going to be a very tough schedule for the Falcons to get more than 4 wins. I think that there are obviously going to be upsets. The Falcons might win 1 or 2 games that they're not supposed to win, which is one of them is the Panthers game, but I really can't see them getting more than 4 wins with the roster that they have and the schedule that they have. It's going to be tough season for the Falcons. Next, we have the Carolina Panthers at 5-12. I was a little bit more generous with the Panthers, but they once again have a very tough schedule. I have them winning against the Browns without Deshaun. I have them beating the Giants. I have them beating the Falcons. I have them beating the Seahawks. And I have them splitting with Tampa. I don't have them splitting with Tampa. That's the wrong game. I have them beating the Lions. Sorry about that. I have them beating the Lions. That was incorrect. Again, looking at their schedule, you have the Saints, you have the Cardinals, you have the 49ers, you have the Rams, you have the Bucs, you have the Bengals, you have the Ravens, you have the Broncos, you have the Buccaneers, you have the Saints, and you have the Steelers. That's, again, 11 playoff teams. I just have them beating everyone else. You have 11 teams fighting for the playoffs. I just have them beating everyone else instead of the Falcons, because I think that the Panthers are arguably borderline fighting for a playoff spot, simply on the merit that they're in the NFC, not the AFC. But you can't with that schedule. If you're playing the NFC East and the AFC South, then yes, the Panthers would be serious playoff contenders in the NFC. But they're not. They're not playing either of those divisions. And those are the easiest divisions in the league. Instead, they're playing 2 of the harder divisions in the league. Not obviously the West, the AFC West or the NFC West. But they're playing 2 of the tougher divisions in the league. Actually, they're playing the NFC West. But either way. I have them going 5-12. I think it's pretty reasonable to say that they'll lose pretty much all of the games against the really tough teams. But I think that they'll probably get 1 or 2 upsets, probably finish with 7 wins. I think they'll have a solid season, but I can't predict them to win too many upsets with this schedule. I have the Saints at 12-5. And yes, I did say that correctly, 12-5. One of the big reasons why is because their schedule is markedly easier than the other two so far I've talked about. I think that the Falcons twice are easy wins. I think that they can beat the Panthers twice. Jameis Winston was 5-2 last year. He had 14 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions. And that was without Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is now back. Alvin Kamara may or may not be getting a suspension. The defense added Tyrann Mathieu. This team is better than the 5-2 Saints last year that demolished the Patriots, beat the Buccaneers, and beat another very strong team as well. I have them splitting with Tampa, and then I have them winning all the easy games. Falcons, Panthers, Vikings, Seahawks, Raiders. The Raiders aren't an easy team, but I think they match up well. The Saints match up well with them. I think the Saints match up very well with the Steelers. Falcons, Browns, Eagles, and Panthers. And I think that they can get a bare minimum of 10 wins. That's not including the Bucs game, and that's not including the win over the 49ers. I think that the Saints are the 49ers, but with a more experienced quarterback. I'm not going to say better because I really don't know what Trey Lance can do yet, but Jameis Winston's more experienced. He works well with the offense that he had last year. And I think that the Saints are a more experienced team with a more experienced quarterback, but they're very similar to the 49ers. So I think a win over the 49ers is pretty reasonable. And then I have them losing all 5 of the games that really could be upsets. Like the Bengals and Cardinals, I don't even know if they're arguably better. I think the Saints are better than the Cardinals. Like, I can see the Saints getting 13 wins this year, honestly. Like, no joke. The Saints have a very strong team this season, and I'm excited to watch them play football. And then at 14-3, I have Tampa Bay. Obviously, you got to go with Tom Brady winning this division because the only time he lost this division was against Drew Brees, and Drew Brees is no longer on the Saints. But this Saints team is better than the Drew Brees teams. But Tom has been with the Buccaneers longer. He's not going to go 11-5 this year. So this is going to be a very tight division this season. I think that if Tom splits with the Saints, he should win the division. The Saints could beat the Buccaneers twice, though, which they did last season, even with Ian Book as the quarterback of one of the games. I have them losing to Kansas City and the Rams throughout the season. I have them beating Green Bay. I think that would be a generally easy win for the Buccaneers this season. I think they match up extremely well now that Green Bay has not as many weapons to throw to. Aaron Rodgers has less weapons to throw to. The Tampa Bay defense will probably be suffocating in that game. They match up very well against the Cowboys, who, again, lost Amari Cooper. And I think that the Ravens game is more of a toss-up, but I think that the Bucs should be able to win that one. And once again, this schedule almost looks easier than the Panthers or the Falcons, and I think that that's because the NFC West kind of moved around a little bit. Some of the teams that some of the matchups kind of moved around a little bit on who's actually better in each division, but it also might look easier because I'm comparing a tougher team. But I think that Tampa's better than pretty much everyone in their schedule, and that obviously not the Rams. Kansas City will be a tight game, but I think Patrick Mahomes will want revenge for the Super Bowl. And the Saints, obviously, Brady always loses at least one game against the Saints whenever he plays them. So I think that this will be a very tight race between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Saints, and it'll come down to whether or not the Saints win 1 or 2 games, because the Bucs aren't winning 2. And if the Saints win 2 games, then that blows the whole thing wide open for the Saints to get the division or potentially the 1 seed. I think that the Rams are going to get the 1 seed, but if the Saints can somehow upset the Rams, even if they only beat Tampa once, if they beat Tampa once and upset the Rams, then they have tiebreakers for days. And I don't see the Packers fighting for the 1 seed without Devontae Adams. So it's going to be a crazy season in the NFC South. I'm very excited for this division. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Any other videos that you want to see before the beginning of the season begins, please let me know. I talked about some other videos I wanted to do before the start of the season in my last video, but again, comment your thoughts below. Like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.